Hello and welcome to the tutorial on using numeric stamps as a map source. So I'm going to show you how to render a numeric stamp and make a map source out of it so that we can get information from the image. So you can see on the screen that I have picked two different stamps to show you. One of them is inside this crater and one of them is outside the crater. I'm going to render both of these images and show you a few things so that we can get information from it. But when I render it this time, we will be using a numeric rendering. Traditionally, we have used an 8-bit grayscale framing camera image, and sometimes this can result in a loss of information. So using the numeric stamps is a floating point 32-bit image, and these retain the full dynamic range of the instrument. So even though the image looks dark, we can actually get data from it and get more information from it. So we're going to select both of these, and we're going to render them as numeric. And you can see that both of these images are pretty dark, which makes you think that maybe there's not much information there. But we're going to turn them into a map source and look at the information. So to do that, we're going to go to Advanced Map. And we're going to select the numeric stamp. And you want to put it on the visible map and the plot area and press OK. You see that the picture changed a teeny bit, but it's still very dark. And now I'm going to show you how to tell if an image is dark and has data, and if it's dark and has just noise data. So what we're going to do is draw a plot on the image in the dark space. We're going to do the stamp first. Now we're going to look at the plot. And you can see that 0 is right here in the middle, and that these lines go above and below the 0 mark. This is basically an indicator that this is just noise data and that it's not good data. So now we're going to look at the other one and you can see the difference. So now we're going to draw a plot on this one. And we're going to look at the chart again. And you can see this time that the max and min of this chart are all above 0. That means that this is good information. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to find the min and max range area of this map. So our lowest point is probably somewhere around here, which is 0.0175. And we're just going to jot this down so that we can use it later. And our high point is 0.0400. So now we're going to go to the Input tab, and you're going to take this auto detection off. And I'm going to move this window over so we can see the stamp a little bit. Now in this min and max area, we're going to put the information we just got in the chart. And our max value. And we're going to press enter. And you can see that our image has already changed. So this is something that you might have to play around with a little bit, seeing how our plot was just a small sample size. You can actually come in here and change these values a little bit more and see how it changes. Now you'll notice looking at our rendered images that the left-hand side image is the one that had valuable data. And now when we put that min and max value in the crater, it has lightened a lot and you can see information in there. But on the image on the right, there was a lot of noise data. So when we put the min and max value in, not much happens because it's just noise. Now because both of these images are rendered in a map source, anything you do will apply to both images. So if you decide to add a color structure in here or change your min and max values, it will be applied to all the images that you have rendered as a map source. When you are not using this as a map source, you can create stretches for individual images. But as a map source, they all kind of fit into one. So anything you do to one, it gets done to all of them. Also, keep in mind that this information is not saved with the map source. So if you decide to exit and delete your layer, this information will not be saved. You're going to have to reapply it. Well, that's our introduction to numeric stamps as a map source. Thank you for joining me.